Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is well. And for those folks that don't know me, I'm Diego. I'm waiting for my welcome letter from the National Visa Center. Okay, Karina is my prometida. She's from Venezuela, and she lives in Bogota, Colombia. We got our NOA 1 letter April 18th, 2022. We got our NOA 2 letter May 30th, 2023, which is 407 days for you guys that keep count. And now we're just waiting for the National Visa Center to send us our welcome letter. And that takes about probably 90 days as of now. But I've seen people getting their welcome letters now in 65, 70 days. So things are getting a little bit quicker, but we'll find out, right? What we can do is just wait. We're all in the same boat. Now, Kaiser H just checked in. Kaiser H, hi Diego. Tomorrow is July 4th. Tomorrow is Independence Day, and therefore I would like to wish you all, my other fellow Americans, a happy Independence Day, and may God continue to bless this great country of ours. This is a very nice of you, Kaiser H, to say that. And happy Independence Day to you and your family, also to everybody watching. Now, if you're a beneficiary, you're a fiance, and you live in a different country other than America, and you're waiting to come to America to get married and become an American, we can't wait for that day to get here. Okay? We embrace you as a new immigrant to the United States. But it's important to remember to learn our history and learn about, how we got here as a nation. How did we become a great country that we are? We're a free country. You can say whatever you want in America, okay? And just as long as it doesn't threaten anybody. And you're a free person here. But please don't wish me happy July 4th, because July is a month that was named after the Roman general Julius Caesar. Okay? So if you wish me a happy July 4th, what you're saying to me is happy Julius Caesar Day. Well, we're not celebrating Julius Caesar, the general from Roman days. We are celebrating independence of a country from the United Kingdom. Okay? Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Ecuador, those countries, they got their freedom from Spain through Simon Bolivar, the great, fantastic Simon Bolivar, the hero of the Americas. The United States of America got its independence, and George Washington is our hero. So my two heroes are George Washington and Simon Bolivar. So wish me happy Independence Day, and you will be forever in our good graces. Just don't say when you come to America, Mr. Beneficiary. Don't wish people happy July 4th. Don't do that. It's not correct. Okay, you're giving an American a salutation to a Roman general. You wish them happy Independence Day, and I know it's a long word to say independence, but that's the way it is. Now Colombia, they got their independence from Spain because of Simon Bolivar. Their Independence Day, I think, is like 2 weeks past ours. It's in July. It's July, the second week of July. I can't remember exactly when. I should know that, okay? But anyway, let's get on with K1 visa questions. Let's see what we got here. Yo to nerd. Hi, Diego. I received my welcome letter today, NOA 2 on 4/6. So June 4th is your NOA 2. Good job. Very good. Markeisha Smith. Hey, Diego. I joined in on the interview talking about the MVC. Are those specific wait times improving? Yes. It seems like it's getting a little quicker at the MVC. I just made a video about the Dominican Republic, and the turnaround time was like 60 days, 60-some days for the from the welcome letter from NOA 2 to the welcome letters. And then another couple just got approved in Bangkok, Thailand. I'll make a video about that tomorrow, okay, on Independence Day. I'll make it and publish it. So things are speeding up. And Christopher Stout says, but we won that war. We did. We won that war. The British, we love our British friends, okay? This is back in history days now. We love our British friends, but the British, they wanted to disarm us. They wanted to tax us. Okay? And how did that work out? It didn't work out too well for them. Anyway, let's see what do we got here. Zoila Molina. Hello, Diego, and happy Independence Day. Thank you, Zoila. Still waiting for the welcome letter. Yeah, it's a once you get your Anyway 2 letter, okay, that's a big day, right? You're excited about it. I got my Anyway 2 letter. It was a big deal for me. Okay? But now you wait for the next step, which is the welcome letter. And it's taken now, I'm going to say right now, it's taken between 60 and 90 days. I've seen 60, 65 days. So it's getting a bit faster. So this means that the embassies are basically catching up, and they're getting their visas processed a little quicker. The Dominican Republic and Thailand are perfect examples. So it's good, it's a good thing that we're in that position. Because I don't want to wait any more than you guys want to wait. I want Karina to get into America just as much as she wants to get here, so we can get things started with our lives. Yo, nerd, since I got the welcome letter, can I make the SEC account and complete the DS-160 and pay the fees for my fiance? He doesn't have a computer. What you need to do is you got to wait for the ready status. Okay. You can start processing the DS-160 and save it, but you got to remember it's only good for 30 days. Excuse me. Okay, it's good for 30 days. When you get the ready status, that's when you jump in there and pay the visa fee, fill out the DS-160, and schedule the interview. It only takes an hour and a half to fill out a DS-160. Okay, it's not difficult. It's easy to do. A 10-year-old can do it. If he doesn't have a computer, then wait for the ready status. Okay. Hajar Elban. Hey, Diego. Hope you're doing well. Doing great, Hajar. Thank you. You also have a question, please. My fiance got a speeding ticket when he was visiting, and I still have the papers from it. Would be bad or good to save it for proof for interview. Okay. You don't want to bring a speeding ticket to the visa interview. Now, was the speeding ticket where? Did the sponsor get the speeding ticket or the beneficiary? Who got what? You said your fiance got a speeding ticket. Was that in the United States? It's not going to block a visa interview, a speeding ticket. Speeding ticket, as long as you don't commit felony, evade, and run from a police officer, it's speeding down the highway, you're good. A speeding ticket is not going to block a visa. Christopher, I got printout of the I-485 Declaration of Financial Support, if I'm correct. Now, the I-485 is the adjustment of status form. Okay, the I-484 is the adjustment is the affidavit of support. What you need is the I-134, which is the Declaration of Financial Support. Christopher, the I-134, and it's fixing to time out. At the end of July, it's going to time out. So wait till August, and then I'll help you with the I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support. I-134. I-485 is the adjustment of status form. That's the form you fill out to get your green card for your beneficiary. Pink Rose, congrats. Nerd, it's great news. Yeah, Pink Rose. History Blitz. Hi, Diego. We are adjusting status. Okay. Should she attach her changed name to all bills, insurance after marriage, and then submit change of status? Or can she have maiden name on the paperwork? History Blitz, here's what I would do. This is what Karina's going to do. We're going to get married within the first probably, week of her being in America. 2 weeks tops, first week. She's going to change her name to my last name. And then I'm going to put her name on everything using my last name. Okay? So all bills, the title to the car, the house, electric bill, gas bill, water bill, homeowners association. I want to get her a credit card off of my bank account. All that's going to be in her married name to me. So when we adjust the status for the green card, everything's going to be in her name using my last name. Okay? Is it mandatory you do that? No. Does she want to do that? Yeah, she wants to take my name. She wants to take my name, and she's gonna have it. She can have it, by golly, no cost. Well, $535, right? I'm just kidding. So when we adjust our status, we're gonna get married first, right? Then we're gonna put her name on everything. I'm gonna get her medical insurance taken care of. I'm gonna get her military spouse ID card. I'm gonna get her. I don't know. We can't get a driver's license or a state ID card until she gets her social security number. So I wrote a letter to include in the adjustment of status, explaining, that because she doesn't have her social security number yet, we can't put her on my bank as a joint owner, etc. We can't get her a driver's license, but she'll get that stuff done as soon as she gets her social security number. And she doesn't get that until we adjust the status for the green card. Although I might take a ride over to the Social Security office over in Pensacola and ask them if there's a way we can adjudicate that with her I-94 and her K-1 visa and our marriage license. I want to see if that'll work. Let's see. History Blitz. Can she get a Social Security card without a marriage license? No. Can't do that. Haja Elbin. No, when he was visiting me in Morocco. So you're a sponsor. Your American citizen sponsor was speeding and racing around Morocco in your car, or he rented a car. He was being a Formula One driver, and he got a speeding ticket from the Moroccan police. Right? Did he pay the ticket? Did he pay the ticket? If he paid the ticket, he's good. He does not have anything outstanding in Morocco. Just bring proof that he paid the ticket. It's easy. Just don't speed in Morocco. Now in Colombia, you got to speed. If you don't speed in Colombia, you'll get a ticket for going too slow. I'm serious. I'm kidding. Same in Italy. I drove in Italy for years. And when I came back to the United States, I had to readjust to driving in America. Woo! In Italy, you run through red lights. It's a whole different ballgame. Let me see. Haja, no, I mean, it's a stupid idea to prove he visited me. You don't have to use a speeding ticket in Morocco, okay, to prove that your sponsor visited you in Morocco. Don't even bring it up. Shrug Republic. Saw recently on one of your videos. These are your videos, guys, not my videos. They're for you guys. That Philippines doesn't allow co-sponsors, but the company I sent in my application assured me it wasn't an issue. Where did you hear this? Well, the U.S. Embassy in Manila, Philippines says you can't have a sponsor if you are in a K-1 visa process. You can have a sponsor. This is the ambassador. This is the U.S. Embassy in Manila, Philippines. The ambassador controls his embassy. And right now, if you're going through a K-1, you can't use a joint sponsor if you don't meet the income requirements or use assets, whatever. But you can if you get married. Okay. So if you're going through a CR1 or an IR1 visa and your income is not quite there, you can use a sponsor then for a marriage visa, but not for K-1. That information comes from the U.S. Embassy in Manila, Philippines. Surfer Ring, how long does it take to get the work permit after you get married in the U.S.? It takes just as long to get an EAD work permit as it does to get a green card. It's a slow process. Karina, I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on an EAD work permit when I already paid a bunch of money for a green card. We're going to just wait for the green card to get here, patiently waiting, like we're doing right now. Just wait for the green card. Why would you want to spend money on a work permit? You get your work permit, and then 2 weeks later, you get your green card. You're like, man, why did I spend the money on that work permit? I got my green card now. Let's see. Let me see. Spinergy HD, hi Diego. Thank you for all you do. You've been a great help during this emotional, draining process. Spinergy HD, I'm going to help everybody get through this. Okay, you got to relax. Don't let Don't let Facebook groups scare you. You know, you go in these Facebook groups, they're scaring everybody to death with all this stuff. Just relax. You qualify for the benefit, write it out. It's just a waiting game. Christopher Stout, my fiance, has planned to do augmentation in the Philippines. That's what she wants to do. Can she use that paper receipt fund for help approval? Will it help in the interview? No, it's not going to help. It's going to help your fiance, but it's not going to help in the interview. The immigration officer doesn't care about that. It's probably cheaper to get it done in the Philippines than it is in the United States. Probably half the price, right? So no, does not have any effect on the immigration process at all. Yo nerd, thank you, Diego, with the I-134. You're welcome. I got it cleared up for you, right? Do I need to provide bank statements for multiple banks if they are listed on my pay stubs? Yeah, you want to get bank statements and pay stubs. You don't know what the immigration officer is going to ask for. Okay? You don't know. They could ask for bank statements. They could ask for pay stubs. They may not ask for any of it. Get everything. Bring it all to the embassy interview, and then have it ready. So you're ready. You're prepared. Kaiser, Diego, for naturalization, which date applies? Is it the date of my net beneficiary's arrival in the United States, or the date which is written on her 2-year congressional green card? It is the date that the conditional green card was issued, Kaiser H. The date on the 2-year conditional green card is when the clock starts for U.S. citizenship. Pink Rose, please, could you tell me how did you receive your welcome letter? That's a question for your nerd. And Momshi, hey, Mrs. Momshi. History Blitz, when my wife changes her last name to mine, good. Should she get a new passport with her changed name, or does the old one work? It expires soon. If her passport is going to expire soon, get a new passport, unless you're from Venezuela. If you're from Venezuela, you can ride on an expired passport to the United States. But get a new passport, excuse me. Then she's going to have a passport from a foreign country. When you guys get married and she takes your name, go to the embassy, find the nearest consulate. You can probably do it online for her country, and get a new passport with her new name in it. That's easy. For Karina, it's hard to do because she's from Venezuela, and we don't get along with Venezuela. Well, the U.S. government and the Venezuelan government, they don't get along. You know, we're a capitalist republic, free country, and Venezuela is a communist dictatorship. And those two, it's like putting a square peg in a round hole. They don't match up. Okay, so Karina, we're just going to focus on getting her U.S. citizenship, and then she'll get an American passport. If her Venezuelan passport expires, oh well. Let's see. Pink Rose by email. Okay, so Yo the Nerd responded to Pink Rose question. Hedrex, Soldier of Christ Fire. Hey, I am citizen of America. Great. But I was born in Guadeloupe, but I don't have birth certificate from that country. But Guadeloupe is commerce of France, so it's part of France. What should I do? I'm the petitioner. Okay, Hedrex, do you have a U.S. passport? Do you have an American passport? Right? You have a U.S. passport. That will identify you as an American citizen. If you are a naturalized American, you're going to also need to include your naturalization certificate, okay, when you file the paperwork. But if you're an American, and then you should be able to get a U.S. passport. You don't worry about the birth certificate. If you can't get it, you can't get it. You know, but you got your passport, right? Yeah. If you don't have your passport, then you're going to need to get your birth certificate so you can get your passport. And so if it's part of France, I don't know. I'll investigate. Romian March. Diego, I've been watching videos since my process started. I'm currently in America. Thank you. Hope everything works out for you as well. Well, thank you, Romian. Everything's going to work out fantastic. Everything's good. The mosquito guy. During my second divorce, my ex had no contact had a no contact order against me on the advice of her lawyer. Okay, nothing ever became of it. Will it be a problem with the application? Uh, as long as what I would do is if you have that information, try and get it. Go to the courthouse and print it and see what it says. You got to look at the paperwork and see what it says. As long as it doesn't have domestic violence, there's no domestic violence or anything like that, then I'm not an attorney. Remember, I'm not giving legal advice here, but it shouldn't be a problem so long as there's no violence involved. I mean, a no contact order. So, I mean, that's normal, right? In any divorce. Uh, Jody Fairfield. Hi, Diego and Karina. Hope both are doing great. We're doing great, Jody. Karina's at work in Bogota, northern Bogota. She's helping her friend Mihai set up her business. Time is going by pretty quick, right? Time goes by pretty fast. So Karina's friends know that Karina's not going to be in Colombia much longer. So Karina's doing everything that she can to help her friend Mihai set up her business before she leaves Colombia. Mosquito guy, relax on that, okay? Just get copies of the paperwork if you can and look at it, because that's what the FBI is going to see. Spinner GHD question. I am the petitioner. Okay. My fiance is right. We have an NOA2 letter, but not our NVC welcome letter yet. We want to have kids. Do you think, or have you heard if she becomes pregnant? Okay, if she becomes pregnant, then, if you got to think about this, you're at the NVC welcome letter stage. How far along will she be in her pregnancy before you get to the embassy interview? And will the airline allow her to get on the plane? If she's 7 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant, I don't know. The airlines may not let her get on the plane. Then she's stuck in her home country till the baby's born. So I don't know. Prior to her medical interview could negatively impact or prolong her coming to the U.S. It won't negatively impact her. If the baby's born overseas in her country, she has to register the birth as a U.S. citizen with the embassy. Register the birth. Hey, I got a new baby. Okay, register the birth. Mom and dad signed the birth certificate. Dad's an American citizen. Baby becomes an American citizen. So the baby's not going to need a visa. Baby gets a passport, a U.S. passport right away, right off the bat to travel. But you got to think about the airlines and how far along she is when she's pregnant. Will they let her get on the plane if she's pregnant? If she has the baby overseas, then you got no problems. Mr. Najas. Hi, Mr. Diego. We are waiting and waiting and waiting. Hey, Mr. Najas, we are waiting and waiting, just like you guys. But it's all part of the deal, right? It's called a process. GE. Hi, Diego. How are you? Doing good, GE. Does NVC send the submitted I-129F packet with previous proof of relationship to the embassy? Yes, they do. But yes, you should carry a packet with you too, plus a new letter of intent to get married. Guys, when you fill out an I-129F, when you put together a K-1 visa package, okay, make a complete copy of it before you mail it to the lockbox in Dallas, Texas. Because number one, if immigration loses your K-1 visa package, which happens sometimes, and then you get a letter saying we lost your stuff, we don't know where, then you got a backup copy, right? And number two, bring that copy to your beneficiary in her home country, and then she should bring it to the embassy interview. She's probably not going to need it, but the embassy officer will see in her hand or his hand a copy of the visa package, and it's going to match his or hers. So they're going to know that the relationship is good, and it's going to help the process. It'll make it easier for the approval. And plus, your beneficiary should study the I-129F because the immigration officer asks you questions, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, from the I-129F and from the DS-160. Okay? Hedrix, yes, passport. Okay, April Flower. Hi, Diego. What are the income requirements and will they increase in 2024? I made a video, April Flower, for 2023 income requirements. Look for the video and it will answer all your questions. And in March of 2024, I have no doubt that the income requirements will go up. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control, Health and Human Services, those are the folks that control the federally mandated minimum income requirements. And they go up every year. And in March of 2024, they will publish the new numbers. Okay? And it's going to go up, no doubt. Headrest, you have both. Okay. History Bliss. Should she change her passport to my last name then before we submit change of status paperwork? We are worried the names don't match now on the change of status paperwork with the old passport. No, you don't have to do that. Immigration know her name's going to change. There's no big deal. On my first rodeo, remember, this is my second K1 visa. On my first rodeo, my first K1 visa, we got married and I filed the adjustment of status paperwork and her passport name didn't change. It was her old maiden name. It's no big deal on the passport. Because immigration, no, it's hard to change a passport. Once you're in America, how are you going to do it? You have to go to the consulate of your beneficiary's country. Let's see. So don't worry about that history blitz. Relax on that. Tess and Rocco. Hi, Mr. Diego. How are you? Still waiting the approval packet since July 7th. I'm excited together again with my fiance to meet. Yeah, Tess and Rocco. Get together. Spend time together. Be together. Get pictures together with friends and family. Evidence of being together. History blitz. Her maiden name is on our new U.S. medical exam. Is that okay? Sure. It's okay. Nothing to worry about. History blitz. GE, thank you. History blitz. You're so helpful. How much do you charge per hour? $0. I don't charge a penny for all this free advice. I know what it's like to go through this visa process. And if you've never been through it before, if this is the first time that you're going through a K1 visa or a spousal visa, I know it's scary for you guys and you don't know how to do it. Sometimes you get misinformation. Somebody tells you this and it's not correct. And then you get worried and you can't sleep. And then you're at work and you're stressing at work. And, this channel was put together for you guys. Okay. I'm going to help you get through the process. Smooth. No stress. No, so everything's free. Although Pete B likes to send me super chats every now and then, and he keeps me stocked up on Mountain Dew. So if Pete B, if you're watching, thank you for the Mountain Dew. I got some today. Tess and Rocco, July 7th, 2022. So in July of 2023, so this month you should be hearing from the NOA 2. This month. The USCIS, the turnaround time from an NOA 1 to NOA 2 right now is about 12 months, not 17 months, 16 and a half months. History Blitz. Do we add wedding photos for the adjustment paperwork? Yes. History Blitz. When you get married, okay, you want to include at least 20 pictures of your wedding. Now, that doesn't mean pictures of you and your bride sole in pictures. It means you and your bride and all your wedding guests. And if you don't have wedding guests, find some. Okay? If you're at the hotel, wherever it is you have your wedding, bring people over and be part of your wedding party. And get lots of pictures. Include about 20 pictures of your wedding. Okay? Then if you go on a honeymoon, okay, include about 20 pictures from your honeymoon. So you got your wedding pictures here, you got your honeymoon pictures here, and you're going to get pictures with different people. You're going to put on the picture, this is the date the picture was taken. This is the location the picture was taken. And these are the people in the picture. Okay? When Karina gets to America, I want to post on Facebook, oh, we made it to Miami Airport, guys. And then, we got a wedding date scheduled tentatively for January 31st, 2024. That should give us enough time to get her through the K1 visa process, through the interview, through the medical, and spend Christmas with her family in Colombia. And then we'll fly to the United States probably in January. That's That's a good time frame from right now for us. So January 31st is our tentative wedding day. Okay. So I'll post on Facebook January 15th. Okay, guys, this is our wedding day. This is where we're going to get married. And if you want to be there, you're welcome. And then whoever shows up, shows up. And then I throw in the pot. Plus, I'm paying lunch for everybody. Whoever shows up, we're having a reception at this restaurant on the beach. Whoever shows up, lunch on me. Yes, History Blitz include wedding pictures and honeymoon pictures also. Kaiser H, when you adjust the status for green card, very important. Kaiser H, Diego, do you know whether the U.S. consulate in Mumbai, India, do allow the U.S. petitioner to attend? No, they cannot. Kaiser H. The U.S. consulate in Mumbai does not allow for the sponsor to be attending the interview. Okay, sorry about that. And the Manila, Philippines is the same way. Okay, every ambassador runs their embassy or consulate their way. Okay, so the consulate, the embassy, the ambassador controls the program. Let me see, Kaiser H. I'm asking you about this K1 visa interview at the consulate in Mumbai as I want to attend with my beneficiary. You can go to you as an American citizen, Kaiser H. You can go to the U.S. consulate in Mumbai. You can go. You have a right as an American citizen to enter with your passport, get the security check done. Then you're going to sit outside somewhere and wait for her to get done with her interview. But you can't go into the interview room. You can sit outside. She may be able to peek out the window and see you. Oh, there he is right there. But you can't go into the room. Okay? Don't worry about it. She'll be fine. Jody Fairfield, it's been a stressful process, but you have been a godsend for us. Thank you. And just to triple check, my husband can be son's joint sponsor in Bogota, right? Not allowed for some countries. Yes, Jody, your husband can be your son's joint sponsor. Not a problem. Just make sure that your husband has filled out a form I-134 and signed it and dated it. He's got his 1040s or tax transcripts or both is probably best. W-2s and 1099s. He's got to have all that in a folder to give to your son as a joint sponsor. And then your son has to fill out the same stuff too. Even though his income may not quite be there, may not quite reach the income level required, he still has to fill out an I-134, W-2s, 1040s, tax transcripts, sign the I-134 and date it, okay? Even though his income is not there, it's okay. He still has to sign that form and present it to the immigration officer. So Bogota, Jody, Bogota is cold and rainy right now, I believe. Let me see. Spinagy HD. Can you make a video regarding the U.S. consulate in Mexico? I've made videos about the U.S. consulate. There's two places in Mexico you can have your visa interview. Ciudad and Mexico City. Those are the two places. And I made a video about it. You just got, I don't know if you subscribe to the channel. You don't have to subscribe to the channel. And I never ask you to do that. But if you are subscribed, you can look through the videos, look for the video about Mexico, and there it is. It tells you exactly how to do it for Mexico. Christopher Stout. So you think it will be set and done on my process to be married around March 2024, March or May 2024. From my standpoint, can you figure out what month? It's too hard to just figure it out right now, Christopher. Okay, get closer to the time and I will have more data for you. Remember, everything I run off of data, real data, real information. Okay, not this made up stuff, that somebody pops out. I get real data from real people who have gone through the process. Okay, that's how I put the information together from real people. So wait a little bit more time to pass. Okay. Let's see. Yo Nerd, where does one find the ready status for the packet? It's on the SEAC site, right? When you create your Consular Electronic Application Center, the SEAC means Consular Electronic Application Center. You create an online account. Okay, you're going to check in there. This is when you're going to be checking every day, checking. This is when I say check. Okay, because you're looking for ready status. Once you see ready status, that means the embassy's ready for you to pay the visa fee, schedule the interview, fill out the DS-160. The DS-160 takes an hour and a half to fill out. It's not hard to do. If you have your beneficiary and he or she's bringing one child, then you're going to fill out a DS-160 for your beneficiary and for the child on the K2. If she has two children, you're going to fill out a DS-160 for her, one for her first child and one for her second child. Everybody in the group, in the family group, goes to the visa interview. This one couple, this lady didn't listen to me. Okay, she said this was about 10 months ago. She said, I don't have to bring my two children to the K1 visa interview in Manila. I don't have to. They're going to be. They don't have to come to the interview. They're minors. I said, ma'am, you have to bring your kids to the visa interview. Okay, you have to bring them. If you don't, there's going to be a problem. Well, she didn't listen to Diego. She did her thing, and that's fine. I can't make you do stuff. All I can do is help you with my experience. She didn't bring her kids to the interview in Manila, and they put a 4-month hold on her visa. They said, well, where are your kids? Oh, I don't need to bring my kids. Yeah, you do. They're K2 derivatives. They're on your K. They were part of the I-129F. Where are your kids? Well, they're minors. I'm not bringing my children to this. It's too scary for them. Well, she got put to the back of the line, and it took another 6 months, actually, for her to get rescheduled for a visa interview. And then she sent me all these messages. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I said, I told you what to do. Bring your kids to the interview. You didn't do it. Now you're going to have to suffer the consequences. Nothing I can do about it. And I'm sorry that happened, but listen to me. Listen to Diego. Let's see. Antonio Clark, what should be the first thing I should do once I get my NOA2 letter? Well, I would go get myself a big steak dinner at Texas Roadhouse. Or if you don't like steak, go find you a Mexican restaurant, get you a big Mexican dinner or Thai food and celebrate your NOA2 letter. That's the first thing. And then you sit back and you wait for your welcome letter from the National Visa Center. But you need to notify your beneficiary that you got her visa approved at the NOA2 level. Get a copy of the NOA2 I-797 form, make a copy of it, go to the library, go to Office Depot, make a copy front, back, have Office Depot or somebody scan it to UPS store, does a good job, scan it to your computer, upload it into your Gmail account, and email it to your beneficiary. So now your beneficiary has a copy of the NOA2 letter. She's going to need that for the embassy interview. All right? You're going to need the original in your house, wherever you live. That's the first thing I would do. Go celebrate with a nice steak dinner or a Thai dinner or a Mexican dinner. Then the next day, get that NOA2 letter, go to Office Depot, go get it scanned to your computer, go to UPS store, they'll do it. Upload it to your Gmail account and then email it to your beneficiary so she can print it. Christopher, okay, no, Christopher, you stick to this channel. We're gonna get you through this K1 visa process, okay? Just relax. Let me see. Jody, we have that all with our son. Good. He did meet the income for 2022, but we sent him to go spend time with her, so he isn't working now. Good. That's why we did the joint sponsor. And my son said it's raining. I knew it was raining in Bogota. I knew it. Good job, Jody. The I-134s and transcripts and W-2s. My son did this as well. Thank you. Okay. There you go. You know what's going on. You got it under control. Yo nerd. Got it. Thank you, Diego. No problem. Kaiser H. Since as you have said that I, as a petitioner, American petitioner, cannot attend the K-1 visa interview with my beneficiary at the U.S. consulate in Mumbai, that's correct. Then I have to mail all the documents, such as the I-134 and others. No, you can get on a plane, fly to India with all these documents, okay? Give them to her in person so they don't get lost by the mail system. And you have the original forms that she needs, the I-134s, right? I-134, or two if you need two. Give them to her in person, and then wait for her outside in the lobby of the embassy, of the consulate. Just because you can't go into the interview doesn't mean you can't go and accompany her to the consulate. Wait out, sit on the bench, bring a Rubik's cube and play with the Rubik's cube. The visa interview is going to take probably 10 minutes. Kaiser H, which other documents am I supposed to include with my form I-134? Okay, you're going to need your 1040 tax return. Okay, your tax transcript, your W-2s, your 1099s, and I would get 3 years worth just in case the consular officer needs 3 years worth. Very simple. Those are the financial documents, okay? Those are the ones that the accompany form I-134. All right, very easy to do. And then she's going to need a copy of the NOA-2 letter, the I-797, the NOA-2 letter, showing the approval of the visa at USCIS, and that's it. Plus whatever, unless you made a copy of your K-1 visa package. Jim Oliver, could my fiance do the CFO seminar in the Philippines before she receives her visa? Yeah, I don't see why not. Where does she live? Does she live in Cebu? I think there's a couple of offices in the Philippines where you can get the CFO letter. The seminar, I think it's in Manila and Cebu. I think are the two places, if I remember. But yeah, you can get that done. Then she has it already done, right? Ernest, we met the requirements for the affidavit of support, CR1. The 2022 transcript is below the current poverty guideline for 2023. We have our interview coming up in a month's time. Ernest, we met the requirements for the affidavit of support 2021. The 2022 is below. Okay, well, what about 2023? Do you have proof of income for 2023? Bank statements, pay stubs, things like that, showing that you are above the minimum income? You're going to need, if you can prove it through bank statements and pay stubs and things like that, then bring those, okay? Or get a joint sponsor. Linda Gibbs, hi Diego, I just wanted to know with the I-134, we need the original. Is the original what I print off the computer? Yeah, you need the original I-134, Linda. You got to sign the original form is what you print off the computer. Then you sign it and you date it, okay? And then that black ink, wet ink paper the original form goes to your beneficiary. Jim Oliver, Bentian Island, but she will have to go to Cebu. Yeah, I thought it was Cebu or somewhere like that, but she can get it done. Tampra Hambo. Hey Diego, my fiance filed K1 for me, and I have 2-year-old daughter who's not his. That's okay. She becomes a K2 derivative on the K1 in the I-129F. My question is, when I go from my interview, is there evidence or a letter needed to ask from my ex to prove anything? The birth certificate. You got to have the birth certificate of your baby, of your child. And if the birth certificate is in a foreign language, okay, then the foreign language, it has to be translated into English by a certified translator. The birth certificate is evidence of who the baby's mama is, right? Mom and dad on the birth certificate. Fadumi Muhammad. Hi. Hey, Fadumi. What's going on? Don't forget, let us know where you're watching from. Fadumi Muhammad, let us know. I can't remember. I got thousands of people. Let's see. Hedrex. Can I scan all the documents for my fiancée? She is in Ethiopia. I can send my by email that she can print all out. Is that good enough? Okay, you headrex. She will need, you can scan documents, that's fine, but the I-134, okay, the Declaration of Financial Support has to be the original form, has to be signed by you, the original document, okay? Ohio, okay. Spinach HD, Diego, what is the minimum amount of months prior to expiration my fiance can have on her passport? 6 months, Spinach HD, unless you're in Brazil. If you live in Brazil, you got to have 8 months on your passport. Any other country is 6 months. And if you're in Venezuela, if your passport is expired, the State Department under the Trump administration already extended them for 5 years automatically to protect Venezuelans, so they don't have to go back to Venezuela to renew their passports. He, basically what he did was he protected them from having to go back to Venezuela. Linda, Diego, we received our NOA2 on March 27th. Do you think our welcome will be coming soon? March 27th. So, yeah, you should be hearing this month. You should be hearing them very soon. Very soon. This month. In the next couple of weeks. Zoila Molina, do you know if the beneficiary can request a translator for his interview in India? Sure, but most consular officers can speak. Is it Hindi, or what's the language of India? It's Hindi, I think. I can't remember, but most consular officers can speak Hindi and English. Kaiser H. Diego, is it okay to list my retirement account 401k as an asset on my I-134? Sure, absolutely. The cash value of it. Okay, so if you had to cash it out, immigration care about what's the cash value. Okay. EPO 97, my NOA1, July 28th, 2022, still waiting. July 28th. So the first week of August, you should be getting your NOA2 letter. All right. EPO 97, August. First, because you're at the end of July. July 28th, it could have rolled into an August mail out. Did you see what I'm saying? So wait for August to get here, and then you'll get to see your NOA2 letter. Come on, guys. Throw some questions at me. Today's been pretty good. No problem. EPO 97. Yeah. August is when you should see your NOA2 letter. Okay. And remember, let's see. S. Juarez. Hello, Diego and Karina. I was looking for information about the interview scheduling process. Are we assigned a date, or do we have to find our own spot? You have to find S. Juarez. 99% of all is for Colombia. Yeah. In Colombia, you have to schedule the interview. When you get the ready status, okay, you get the ready status from the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. They received your K-1 visa package from the MVC. You're in the ready status. What you do, what we're going to do is you email the U.S. Embassy visa section, and I got the email address here. You send them an email and say, hey, I got ready status from you guys. And then in the subject line of the email, identify the case number. You'll probably have the invoice number by then, and say, what do I do? And then the embassy will email you back and say, now this is what you do. It's not difficult, but it's about an 8 months, It's about a 6 to 8 week waiting time to schedule in an embassy interview in Bogota. In Colombia, you have to schedule it. From your computer. I'll schedule Karina's from right here. Or I'll probably be in Colombia. I'll schedule it from our laptop. Yeah, Mon 2006. Hello, I'm 6 months into my NOA1. Are there any update on USCIS website explaining where they are at the process? You are 6 months into your NOA1. So you got about another 5 to 6 months before you get an NOA2 letter. So you're about 5 to 6 months left to wait for the second part. Kaiser H, apart from my 401k retirement account, what other types of assets do you recommend on the I-134? You can use your checking account. How much is in there? Your savings account. How much is in there? And if you own a house, what kind of real estate holdings do you have? But if you use real estate holdings, you got to prove that you own the property, you know. So if you're going to use your house, you need to go to your tax appraiser's office, your county office, and have, or do it online and print your last property tax report showing that you paid your property taxes, and that shows your name is on the property. You own the property. So if you use your house on your I-134, you have to prove that you own the property. And you can do that through your tax office in your town. Tepra od hiambo. And what if the child birth certificate has his biological dad's names too? Is there a problem with that at the interview? No, there's no problem with that. Now, in your country, does the child's biological dad have to give permission for that child to leave your country? There may be a law in place that says that you have to get permission, you know, from the judge or from the government of whatever country you live in to release that child. The child's dad has to maybe sign a letter giving permission for the child to travel with you out of your home country to the United States. You need to look into that. Okay, sure, you'll get a K-1 visa. Immigration will give you a K-1 visa, but the government of your country controls the borders of your country. And if you're traveling with a child, okay, that's under 18, then the other parent, I'm pretty sure, I know in Colombia this is the case, you have to have a letter stating that the father has given permission for you, Miss Beneficiary, to travel out of the country with your child. Scott Wales, my I-129F NOA1 is May 20th, 2022. No NOA2 yet. Okay. Well, in your opinion, what point can I contact USCIS to check its status? Well, USCIS has set up on their thing. So if your K-1 visa went to California or Texas, you're going to have to wait until at least 17 months has passed, because they set it up on their computer that it's a 16.5 month turnaround wait time for the service center in California. What it does is it's blocking people from calling until after the 16.5 months has passed. So you're going to have to wait probably 17 months before you can contact USCIS on an inquiry. But the good news is this: more than likely you are going to get your NOA2 letter probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So don't worry about it. You're going to get your NOA2 letter. You just got to be patient. Okay. This is a patient game of cat and mouse. Okay. You're the cat, immigration is the mouse, and you're chasing after the mouse. Right? You'll be fine. You're going to get your NOA2 letter probably in the next 2 weeks. And in my opinion. And then if I'm right, come on the channel when I do a live stream and say, hey, I got my NOA2 letter. You'll be okay. You know, you're going to be just fine. It's just waiting. Okay. Scott Wells, there you go. Yeah, just wait. You're impatient. I'm impatient. We're all impatient. Everybody's impatient. We all want to get our K-1 visa. Like today, like yesterday, right? That's the deal. But everything's going to be just fine. You're going to be all good. Okay, guys, come on. Throw some questions at me. I've been talking for 53 minutes. And, you know, it's Monday. What's today? Monday, right? I don't even know what day it is today. That's how busy I've been. And stay busy with your K-1 visa package. What are your kids? What if you have kids, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary? What are they going to do? Do you know what schools they're going to go to? Have you figured out what schools they're going to attend? Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, have you gone to your beneficiary's future child's school to find out what is required to enter the school? What is a medical exam required? Is a vaccination documents required? You know, keep busy. You know, investigate what you're bringing kids to the United States from a foreign country that can't speak English. You know, find out what school they're going to be going to. Find out if they have any programs in the school where they can help with the English. You know, let's see here. Scott Wells. Kaiser H. Diego, will my beneficiary have to schedule her K1 visa interview at the U.S. consulate in Mumbai by herself, or will the consulate do it for her? No, what you can, Kaiser H, you can schedule her visa interview. Get on your computer and try to schedule it. You can do that, but you got to wait for the ready status. You got to wait for the ready status. Once you get ready status, you're going to get instructions on how to do that. Okay? You're going to get a letter. This is how you schedule the visa interview. Vivian Chiamaka Uzama. Hi, Diego. Hey, Vivian. What are documents required during the interview? What are the financial documents? I-134, W-2s, 1099s, 1040s, tax transcripts. Those are the financial documents. You got to have the original I-134 signed in black ink and dated by your sponsor. If you have any children, they require an I-134 also per child. Okay? So each child has to have an I-134 and the beneficiary. Original, signed in black ink. What's the minimum amount one should have in their bank account if they meet the income requirement? Well, you can have as much as you want. If you meet the income requirement, you really don't need to disclose how much money you have in your bank account. If you're way above, you're good. You don't have to disclose it. But as much as possible would be the answer. Kaiser H. Diego, how long does it take to set up the interview at the U.S. consulate in India? Well, it's taking between 6 weeks to 12 weeks. Right in there. But you got to get on that computer and you got to look for an open slot. But you can't do that until you've paid the visa fee, you're in the ready status, and you've filled out the DS-160. When you fill out the DS-160, you got to print that confirmation page. Vivian Chamaka Uzama, can I send a scanned I-134 document? No, a scanned document will not work. You got to have the original signed I-134 declaration of financial support. Mail it via DHL. DHL, don't scan it. The immigration officer wants the original with your signature on it in wet ink, black ink. Gotta have the original. If you read the instructions, if you go into the USCIS instruction page on their website under I-134, look for uscis.gov/forms, go into forms, go to I-134, Declaration of Financial Support. You're going to see that if you read the instructions, it says in there they want the original form, and they may consider a scanned copy or a copy. Now, what does consider mean? Consider means it all depends on the immigration officer. The immigration officer may not want a scanned copy. He doesn't consider that an original document, so he's going to or she's going to want an original signed form. So in order not to get caught, in an administrative processing wait because you don't have the form, the original form, get him the original form. Don't scan it. Use DHL. What country, Vivian, are we talking about? Is it hard to receive mail in your country, in your beneficiary's country? How difficult is it to get a document to your beneficiary? Maybe you have to get on a plane and fly Nigeria. Okay, in Nigeria, is it difficult in Nigeria to send paperwork to your beneficiary through DHL? Do they have DHL? I'm sure they do. They have that company everywhere. But, look into seeing if DHL will ship it for you, okay? Or FedEx. Look into that. Don't mail it. Don't mail it. You got to use FedEx or DHL. But the best scenario will be for you to get on a plane and fly to Nigeria, right before his visa interview and spend a couple of weeks with him and bring it to him in person. Vivian, yes, we do. I will do just that. Okay. If you have DHL, use DHL. Very good. You're good. You just saved yourself a headache, right? Okay. Let's see. So that answered all those questions. Let's see here. I didn't miss anybody, right? If I missed anybody, let me know and I will respond. Thanks, Diego. You're welcome, Vivian. Yeah, get that sent through DHL. And make sure you're using the most current edition of the I-134, okay? Use the most current edition. Don't use an expired form. If you use an expired form, immigration won't accept it. And you can check the edition date. Kaiser H. Diego, you missed my question. Let's see. Kaiser H. How long does it take to set up the interview? How long does it take for my case to get the ready status from NVC to the U.S. consulate? Okay, well, where you at? You're at the NOA2 level right now, right? Once you get the NOA2 letter, then you got to wait. Then you got to wait about 3 months for the NVC welcome letter, and then the NVC will check with the consulate in Mumbai. So the National Visa Center will contact the U.S. consulate in Mumbai and ask them, how busy are you? How busy are you? How much stuff? How much work have you got? If they have a lot of stuff to do, then they're going to hold the visa at the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. If the Mumbai consulate is freed up, they got plenty of time to process visas, then they will mail it to the consulate, and then you're going to get the ready status. So to answer your question, it all depends on how busy the embassy is. When the National Visa Center receive your visa package from USCIS, and then the National Visa Center will make that determination. Okay, that's the way it works. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour and 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get a cold drink of Mountain Dew, thanks to Pete B, and I will be back. What day is it today? I don't even know. I can't remember. Guys, remind me. Today's Monday, so I would be back on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, to answer all your K1 visa questions, okay? So I'll be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. See you on Wednesday, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. And thank you, Kaiser H. Thank you, UT Nerd. No problem. I'm going to get you through this process, okay? Be patient.